All right, well, the main focus clearly on prayer and on reflection over the Ramadan period. Still, what to make then of the skyrocketing TV ratings during the same period? Well, some religious leaders say all these new shows are a serious distraction from what should be really going on, as Stan was suggesting faith and fellowship there. Well, let's get the view now of Hazami Bamaro, who's the founder and director of the Progressive Muslim Network. So what we're seeing here is this sort of burst, this media burst during Ramadan, where there seems to be an understanding that there is an audience who is compulsive, as it were. And on the other side, people suggesting that these soaps, these serials that are put out at Ramadan are completely undermining what Muslims should really be doing at that point. What do you think?
I'd like to begin by saying, first and foremost, I don't think it is the role of the media to dictate religiosity on a personal capacity. And again, I think to be mindful of is that Islam is not only a religious reality to a lot of people, but it is also a cultural and social reality on many levels. And you see Islam is practiced all around the world in countries like the United States, which are predominantly Christian countries. So Ramadan is not only a time for personal reflection, but it is also a time for community development, community growth, but then also allowing Muslims to put a face to the Muslim American community in the larger context, to educate people about our personal narratives, about our stories as humans, about our stories as people, and media allows us to do so through creative means, and also allows us to preach beyond the choir with these stories. So we, as Muslims, although we are fasting, we are also human. We are also experiencing the things that other people are experiencing around the world.
And that I understand, and you make a perfectly good point there. My point, though, is this, there has been a backlash. There is certainly those who are arguing that TV and TV executives who are taking advantage of this compulsive audience, as it were, is a bad thing during Ramadan, and that it might prevent people fasting, getting into the mosques as they should. It undermines, does it not, the true sense of what people should be doing?
You know, I don't think that it's the media's job, again, to really determine what true Muslims should or should not be doing. I think that the beauty about Islam is it's a personal connection with your creator, with your surroundings. So I do want to highlight that I think that specifically when you look at the TV shows that are extremely high rated in the Arab world specifically, that people are saying, you know, cost a lot of money and distract from the real meaning of Ramadan and what it should mean to people. I think we're also really not looking at the larger picture in the sense that this does bring people together. It does allow us to reflect on our own faith as a community. And the programming that is there, it's not necessarily, you know, sinful, so to say. It is, you know, Bab al-Hara is the very big TV show currently in the Arab world. And you find that people come together around this. They come together as a community to break their fast. So they're growing in their faith simultaneously. And I do understand that people think that there's a negative twist to it, and that people are, if you're in front of the TV screen, you're obviously not in the mosque. But again, I don't think that it's the media's role to really dictate, you know, the levels of spirituality.
All right, and with that, we're going to have to leave it there because I've got to get some emails in before we take a break. But we do thank you for joining us this evening. All right, well, a question we asked then, and many of you